It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they're just going to have a limousine or just going to jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you. Because that's New Orleans, and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar. We're at the fabulous Wayfare today on Ferret Street, which is a couple of blocks down from Napoleon Avenue, where they have a 4-hour happy hour here every day from 3 to 7. They have brunch on the weekends, and between 3 and 7, the bar food and the drinks here are half price, and during the week they're actually not that expensive either. Highly recommended for you to come down or just stick around for the next hour and join us on Happy Hour. Happy Hour is brought to us today by Strategic Resumes. If you want to sharpen up your resume, your LinkedIn profile, or your other job search skills, whatever they might be. I don't even know what that would be, actually. I guess calling people you know and say, I'm looking for a job. Give them a call at Strategic Resumes or look them up online. Travel Central in Metairie is a good place to start if you want to get away. Start your search by checking in with Travel Central in Metairie. It's kind of like a sort of kayak or Expedia, except it's a human being, and it's equally free. Basic Swim and Gym has a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout and yoga clothes with style. They're next to the lingerie store Basics underneath on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue. Hangover Destroyer is the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. Go to the hdestroyer.com website, write Happy on the coupon code, and get 30% off of Hangover Destroyer. And thanks to the Positive Vibrations Foundation, who create and encourage community through the development and preservation of arts, music, culture, and heritage. And talking of arts, music, culture, and heritage, look who's here. Andrew Duhon is back.
Glad to be back, buddy. Good to see you.
Which one do you fit into, arts, music, culture, or heritage?
All of the above.
I would say heritage.
Oh, yeah? Why?
I don't know. What does it even mean?
I don't know.
What does it mean? Lana Joseph is here from High Level Hearing.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
What's your heritage?
My heritage, oh my goodness, so much of it. African American, I've got a little bit of the Westbank in me.
Really?
It's like where'd you go to high school around here, you know?
How much?
Yeah, I mean, that's what matters, right?
How much Westbank do you have in you?
I've got a lot of Westbank.
A lot of Westbank. You're a Westbanker.
I'm a Westbanker for life.
Is that right? Okay. Now, talking of which, Arsene DeLay is here too. Hi, Arsene. Now, Arsene has been on the show twice in the last 3 weeks. By sheer coincidence. Who were you here with last time?
I was here with Charlie Wooten.
Charlie Wooten, the fabulous bass player. That's right.
Exactly.
And now you're here under your own auspices.
Yes.
With a guitar.
With my guitar.
Everything. So
All
this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And Paul Spencer is here, who is a good person for you to know, actually. Paul is the founder and director of the Maverick Music Festival in Britain. It's Britain's first and greatest, finest,
first and finest.
First and finest
like
Americana Music Festival.
Indeed.
Paul, welcome back.
Well, it's great to be back. 2 years, I think it's been, since I sat in this seat.
Has it really? How do you like the seat?
The seat feels much the same.
Yeah, pretty much the same. So Paul comes back and forward to the United States from England. For years you've been doing this.
I have. Well, it's a good, I book a lot of Americana music. So it gives me an excuse to travel around looking for bands. And,
so where have you been on this trip so far?
I have been to Meridian, Mississippi. Now, there's a place to go. Anyone know about Meridian and the Maxi, this fantastic new museum, Mississippi Arts Experience?
Does anybody know about it?
No, it's unbelievable. It's like a $50 million building that just opened 3 months ago. And
what is it exactly?
Celebrating Mississippi culture. So it's music.
Well, that should be a pretty small place.
It's
got a couple of guitars.
Now, come on. It celebrates music, all the usual, Blues, Muddy Waters, Son House, Charlie Patton, all those guys, and then Oprah Winfrey, James Earl Jones. John Grisham, there's a whole thing on literature. I don't want to sound like I'm doing an advert for them because they're not giving me any money. But
are they giving you some money for the festival?
I'm working on it. Yeah, they will once they hear this show.
Is it really $50 million?
I don't know. I just pulled that
you made
figure
that
out
up.
of the air. But it's a fantastic state. I kid you not. I've been to a lot of museums and galleries, whatever you want to call it. It's total state-of-the-art, interactive screens, touch. I mean, honestly, a really, truly incredible, world-class place. And there was nobody there.
Right. Yeah.
I thought we were getting a private view. Actually, it just turns out
there's no one going there. So where is this? This is in Meridian.
Meridian.
Now,
Meridian.
honestly, Who knows where Meridian, Mississippi is? Arsene, do you have any clue?
I have a vague idea.
Vague. Where is it then? Vaguely.
Somewhere
in Mississippi.
Not Bay St. Louis.
Is it?
But surely
Do you know? Andrew?
North of Bay
Lana,
St.
have you
Louis.
been
Bay
there?
St. Louis.
Funny
South
story.
of Jackson.
A long time ago, I was driving, and I swore to goodness that I was headed to Pensacola.
Okay.
And my mom and my sister, they encouraged me to use the GPS, and I refused to use the GPS because, I knew where I was going. I've been to Pensacola many times. So we pull into a gas station, and I'm like, we got to be in Florida? Nope, Meridian, Mississippi. How would I know? Because I saw the cows, the chickens. Asked a guy, and he said, we're in Meridian.
Okay, so where?
I didn't know what he was
So where is it?
It's
If you get on the
really,
I-10 to go to Pensacola, where do you get off wrong to go to Meridian?
I know, right? I have no idea
could
where
you
we
fuck
got
that
off.
up, really?
We really did. I will take
thought
it. I will take
Pensacola
it.
was
I
on
really
I'd love
did.
to know what you...
Yeah.
Were you doing drugs with your
Meridian
mom
is-
and your sister at the time?
No.
Yeah, you know.
That is pretty hard. That's pretty hard to imagine. Okay, so do we know... Andrew, have you been there?
Yeah, I'm sure. I
Have you
mean,
played there?
no, but I'm sure I've been to the Waffle House there. I think I can picture it. In fact,
Yeah.
and I think
Looks so different from the other
But
Waffle
Andrew
House.
will know, being the consummate musician that he is, that is the birthplace of Jimmy Rogers.
I was going to say, isn't the Jimmy Rogers
It's
museum there?
also the
Yeah.
home of the Jimmy Rogers Museum.
Okay.
Soon to be relocated to new premises.
Oh, really?
The Jimmy Rogers Museum.
Yeah, they're going to
Okay.
build a new wing.
They
to
have
this
prime real
museum.
estate. They have a highway sign you pass, and they have the exits, and then Jimmy Rogers Museum
Wow.
has a sign.
Okay, so what did Jimmy Rogers do that we're supposed to know?
He was a songwriter.
What did he write?
He was kind of like
What
a.
did he do? He's
was
the
like a-
father of country music. He's
Okay,
like
so-
Woody
forget
Guthrie
Hank
type.
Williams. This is the guy that
He's
came before.
like Hank Williams?
He's the he's.
But I can tell you some
predates
songs that Hank Williams did. There's A Tear in My Beer. Didn't he do
Well, you
that?
would-
And I'm
You-
crying
What a Jim...
for you,
What a...
neighbor.
Can you play that? I think.
Probably.
Come
I
on,
probably
get your
would,
guitar.
would mangle it.
Okay.
But,
What
yeah.
about... What did Jimmy Rogers do?
He did. Let's see.
That great song you did. In
See?
fact.
Thank you very much.
The
Nobody even-
well, he did some
So-
railroad songs. He was doing all those railroad traveling songs before anybody wrote.
Was he the singing brakeman?
He
Ooh.
was the singing.
Was
brakeman.
that
Where
him?
did you
Yeah.
get plucked that from? That was pretty
Because
impressive.
I
Yeah,
have
the
an
singing-
encyclopedic knowledge of
Singing
country music.
brakeman is who he was. Yeah, in the 30s. Yeah, died very young, but wrote a lot of seminal songs which inspired a lot of other people.
Which we
That's
can't
the
remember
point.
the name of.
Yeah.
One of them
Inspired-
even.
Doesn't
C-Rock hasn't
matter.
told.
Doesn't
Can you
matter.
help us? It doesn't matter. Okay,
No,
fair
because
enough. Anyway,
he inspired Hank Williams and everybody.
so why isn't he a part of
Because
the...
he didn't wear the nudie suit.
Oh, but
Everybody's got to be flashy to be known.
Yeah.
You
That was
can't just make
before-
art and be known.
But wasn't he around? He was around when there was Heritage, still before country turned into sort of a commercial.
Okay.
Wasn't
okay.
he? Wasn't he?
Maybe it was. Maybe.
Isn't there
or
an
is it always just? Is everybody's attention span just shit? And
Did it always used to be? I thought
I
it
don't
was
know.
the iPhone that invented this.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
Screwed up
technology has
life.
made our brains total shit.
Do you think?
Certainly.
I've
I think
seen
it's
really.
completely
Has to have gotten
changed.
worse.
I think it's completely changed how we process information. I mean, I still to this day I still know my grandmother's old phone number, and
What
I
is it?
know my parents.
What's your
It was-
grandmother's phone number? I'd
It
like
was
to call her up.
504-945-2361.
9.
504-945-2361. You won't get
23.
her. She is.
Is she still with us?
No, she's on the other side.
I wonder who's. Well, I wonder if she took her phone with her.
No,
They say you can't take it with you,
It might be
but-
one of my aunts, and they won't answer.
I think you should write that song though with that number in it and say
like
you,
Prince.
you won't get her. She's on the other side. But then again, I've never tried something about the other side.
Write it down.
Look at
You
that.
should,
Okay.
that could be a nice
Look
little
at
tune.
that, high
You know,
five
like
all around. That's good.
it's like Jesus on the main line sort of
Yeah.
song.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it
know,
could be
that's
that.
good.
Why don't you guys write that now? We've still got 45 minutes or more. probably.
Need to make a jingle out of that number. and
How
it's
long
pretty-
does? How would it go? 504-945-23. I'll write it on the tablecloth.
There you go.
504-945-2361. First of all, I'm
What
gonna.
if you get some random person?
Well,
You'll probably get a relative of mine.
how long ago did she die?
This was 2015.
So it was only 3 years ago.
Yes.
What knocked her off? Old age or?
Yeah, she was 94, and she was. I mean, she
Nearly
lived
as
a
old as
beautiful.
Grant then.
Yeah,
She
really.
lived
Older
a
than
beautiful
Dick.
life, and
Yeah.
she was ready to go for a while. So.
Wow. And does she have a cell phone?
She did.
Was it
Yeah, she
Android
did.
or Apple?
Probably Android. It was a flip.
Flip phone.
She had a flip phone.
She liked the flip phones, yeah.
Okay.
Tried to get her iPhone. She's
Grandma.
like, I don't want all that mess.
What was her name, Grandma, actually?
Her name was Gloria Boutte.
Gloria Boutte.
Yes.
Okay, so
Great
she's
name.
your mom's
My mother's mother, yes.
So you were part of the whole Boutte royal family of
Guilty
musicians.
as charged.
Right.
Yes.
But you don't get to call yourself Boutte because your name is DeLay, which
Because
is...
my name is DeLay. My
was your
mother
dad.
married
Right.
my awesome father. And
Was his name Awesome? Is
his-
that why you called Arsene?
no, awesome. No, I was actually named after my grandmother's best friend. Her name was Arsene DeLay, and she lived next
Sounds-
door.
Wow.
But my dad's, he's going to kill me. My dad's name is James DeLay. He's awesome.
Okay. Well, that's a nice name.
Total
That's
badass.
a very total badass. Is he in the music biz?
He's actually a bass player.
Okay.
He plays bass at a church in Mississippi on Sundays.
Is it Meridian?
It's not Meridian.
What part of Mississippi is he in?
I think it's Bay St. Louis or
This is your-
Pascagoula, maybe.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it- You don't know where your
Yeah.
dad lives? Are you serious?
No, I know where he lives, but he just drives to Mississippi.
What's his phone number? We'll call him. So,
I am not authorized to give out that information.
okay. So he lives in Mississippi.
No.
He just goes to church,
My
then?
parents live in Bayou Lacombe on the North Shore.
Where's that? Bayou-Lacombe on the North
Bayou
Shore?
Lacombe is the North
Okay,
Shore.
so you're from the North Shore.
No, we're from the 7th Ward.
Okay. So they moved over there.
Yes.
What convinced them to do that?
Because they bought land when I was in high school there, and it's not in a floodplain.
Now they're trying to get away from you.
And we love each other very much, but it's really nice to have a little distance.
Do they have like a farm over there or something?
They basically, I mean, they could. My dad
Wow.
likes to cut grass a lot. I bought them blueberry bushes.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. So
They're recently retired.
do you go over there much?
Oh, all the time.
You do?
I do, all the time because I haven't really been close in proximity to my parents since I was 18. And so after all of us finished all of our traveling, because they were in the military too, and once I left for college, I was all over the place. But, it was only about 4 or 5 years ago that we all actually are in the same place.
Wow.
And
So
that,
where did
I
you
love
go?
that.
Where did you go after school?
I finished high school in Great Falls, Montana.
High school.
High school.
Did they send you away to high school?
No. My father was stationed at.
He was in the military, so
Yes,
there you
so
ended up.
we went from. I moved to Germany when I was 6, and then we went to Montana.
Hey, do you speak German?
Sprechen kein Deutsch.
Paul Spencer speaks German as well.
I heard
It's
the
not true. It's
counting.
just a rumor.
Really?
I can only count in German.
You can count in German.
That's the most
That's
important
impressive
part,
right
though.
there. So you still speak a bit of German. That's handy.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. I just don't let people know so that they can sit there and say stuff.
Arsene, do you have a dog?
I do have a dog.
Well, they say that it's best to train dogs in German. Have you heard that?
Actually, it's illegal in certain states to do that.
Wow.
Oh,
First of
wow.
all,
Yes.
how do you know that?
How do I know that? I watch a lot of documentaries. I think that's...
Grant, she tried it, and then
You got arrested.
No. Heavens, no. No, Lord knows I don't need to run into the cops any more than I already have. So.
Have you been in trouble with the law before?
Sure, of course.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. What did you do wrong?
All the things. I'm not the right hue to stay out of there.
Did you kill a guy?
Huh?
you
No,
kill a guy?
I didn't kill anyone.
All right.
Okay.
I did not kill anyone.
What did you do, actually? Or nothing?
I drove tired.
Oh.
I drove tired.
What
they
is
say,
it?
they say driving while black.
And driving, yes. I was driving
You
while
get pulled
black and
over?
tired.
DWB.
And more of a driving while tired. And
What did you do? Run off the road or something?
I was weaving.
That's all weaving. I've been
weaving.
pulled over for weaving, and I'm the white as anybody. Have you been pulled over for weaving?
I was
Lana?
weaving.
I haven't.
I'd gone to
Have you ever been
dinner.
pulled over?
I got lucky.
I was
did?
weaving. I'd
Yeah.
gone to dinner with 2 friends. I had 2 drinks at dinner, and they pulled
Oh,
me
were you
for-
over the?
No, I wasn't actually, but I was pulled over in Ventura County, Los Angeles, where they can get you. This is how that's where Mothers Against Drunk Driving started, and they will get you. They'll get you 2 ways. They'll get you for being over the legal limit, which is at .08, while the national legal limit is .1, I think, or something.
You know a lot about the law.
.08, I do. Or they can get you for having any kind of blood alcohol content. So therefore, if you've taken cough medicine or something, because I was in driving school with people. Like some lady was like, I was sick. I was on NyQuil, and I went to Walgreens to go grab some more medication, and they pulled me over. And
So you ended up having to go to driving school.
oh man, I spent the night in jail. Wow.
Were you
yeah,
in
it was
like Oxnard or Camarillo?
Oxnard, man.
Oxnard. That's where this all happened?
Worst. No, it was on. The cops waited until I crossed the Los Angeles County line because I was in grad school at the time. And I had bright red hair because I was doing a show.
What show were you doing, actually?
Oh man, what was it called? It was
Were you
Night. Oh no, God, I can't remember.
Were you acting or
I was.
singing?
I
So
was
you were an
acting.
actress as well. So you're a triple threat.
Pretty much.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. So you're an actress, singer. And what's the third one? Model.
Oh God, no.
Isn't that the third
No,
one?
I'm not thin enough or tall enough for that mess. And I dance too.
Okay, that's the
And I
third one.
dance.
You're a dancer.
That's great.
Lana,
Or
do
dance.
you play any musical instruments?
I don't, but I'm married, or at least getting married to a musician, bass player.
Well, it's not too
bless
late.
you.
Yeah.
It's not too late to get out of it.
Yeah, I've tried. It's not working. I got to stay in it.
So he's a bass player like Arsene's dad, Mr.
Yeah,
Olsen.
yeah, he's very, very talented.
Where does he
He's been
play?
playing for years. Actually, right now at a church here in the city, Greater St. Stephen's.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a
he's
similar story
awesome.
to your dad, isn't it? Plays
Yeah.
bass in the church.
Yeah, you know that's where all of
sort
the
of-
music really starts.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It is true.
Right
It's
there in the church.
amazing the quality of musicianship here. I don't know if that's true in
Yeah.
every city in America, but
I don't think so.
No.
here
it's
it's
not.
extraordinary.
Yeah, agreed.
You can't believe when you see. I just sit in a jazz fest. I don't go to church, but
Yeah.
you see all these people in the gospel tent at jazz fest. You can't believe they're going to get off stage and go back to work. They're like, it's
yeah.
amazing to see.
Yeah.
Every year it's the
Yeah.
same thing. And does he make a living out of doing that, or does he have
He
a job?
does, and he also has a job. He's a workaholic, similar to me. So yeah, he makes a living,
Right.
a good living too, off of it.
He does. You can
Yeah.
make money playing the bass.
You can make money playing the bass at
Here,
a church that
here
can pay
you
it
can make
for it.
money
You can.
playing music.
What's your
Yeah.
work of choice as a workaholic yourself?
I'm a doctor of audiology, so I'm an audiologist, and I own High Level Speech and Hearing Center. So I spend most of my time there.
Audiologist.
It was a choice, though. It was definitely a choice, and I love it.
Is that? Tell me more about that audiology. I'm not familiar.
Oh, you should be because you're a musician.
Is it just about hearing? Are we
It
talking
is.
about hearing
It's
loss
a hearing
and these
doctor.
sorts of things? Yeah.
Hearing
okay.
doctor, hearing specialist.
Got
yeah.
it. Audiology.
Audiologist. Yeah.
It's a very important.
Very.
Totally.
If
So
you don't
how-
need one now, you will in the
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna need one.
Yeah.
What should you do if you're a musician to protect your hearing, actually?
So there are custom plugs that I actually do make for musicians, and they have filters inside of them. And a lot of musicians just don't know that they exist, and they're really helpful to protect the ears. And you need your hearing as a musician.
So you
That's
can
your living.
you can stick it in your
You
eir
can
and still hear.
That's right. You hear your music.
Does
So
your husband wear those?
He does. He does. Yes, he better.
And it works. It's too late for me. Andrew, your hearing is really good, actually.
Well, I don't play I play fairly low volume, relatively speaking. But when it gets loud, like I'll go to a show, that's where I notice it gets loud. And if I don't have anything, if I'm unprepared, and I usually have a couple in my key thing.
Yeah.
But if I got
Yeah.
nothing, I'll go in the bathroom and stuff my ears with toilet paper, which I
and
learned
that
from the
doesn't
drummer.
work. Stop it.
It doesn't help?
If it's nothing else, don't you think it's like a little bit?
No.
I do that too,
No.
and I think it works.
I mean, it's at least
Like, where's that coming
It's
from?
at least
Andrew,
less painful.
C-Rock. But what you're saying is it doesn't work,
No.
Lana. It's a waste of time doing
It's
it.
a waste of time to do that. Just get you some nice plugs that you can put in your ears.
I do need to
whenever you
give me
need
some
them.
nice plugs.
Why does the
Yeah.
toilet paper not work?
It's just because it's not made for that. The toilet paper doesn't have any type of components that protects your ears. There's
What if you
holes
stuck
inside
your-
of toilet
what if you
paper,
stuck your fingers
micro
in?
But
holes.
if we just like
Fingers
Vaseline
actually
them up,
work
that would
better.
work,
Fingers will work better than toilet paper.
right?
And also,
That-
what if it gets stuck? I've taken
That
paper
is-
out of people's ears all the time.
Is that right? People come to the
Paper,
doctor with
roaches,
paper in
all
their
kinds
ears.
of stuff. Yeah.
What el-
Beads.
Really?
All kinds of stuff.
How do you get it out?
Erasers. My utensils. I have utensils.
You have a
like that
special
we can put-
utensil for taking stuff out of people's ears?
Yeah. I'm taking. Yeah.
Do you keep the stuff and you have a collection of stuff you got out of
I
people?
thought about that actually. That would be really cool.
You can
A
get the
museum.
little,
Yeah.
like, glasses.
That would be an
In the
awesome
museum.
idea.
Glass jars.
Yeah.
$50 million later.
Retirement plan.
The door to the museum should be a giant ear, and you walk into the ear.
That would be awesome.
Good thinking.
That should, yeah.
Hey, listen, Arsene, you want to play something, and then I want to come back and ask you a very important question, Paul.
I look forward to that.
Okay, and I'm not even kidding. It is very important. Okay, Arsene. So, do you want me to grab anything for you? Oh, you got it right here.
Right here.
We're going to get live music. Wow.
Yeah, we have live.
that's
Look at this.
awesome.
Nice looking guitar.
Whatever happened to the guy that played the piano? Who, your friend?
Mitch Foreman.
Mitch.
He still plays
where's
our
Mitch?
theme. He's in Los Angeles at the moment.
Yes.
He's still going.
Mitch.
And we have a special mic here.
Yeah, talk amongst yourselves and make sure
Okay.
this thing is
All eyes are on you now.
I know. Stop. Don't
Are you
look
nervous?
at me.
I know it's a very difficult place to play.
Don't disappoint.
Do you guys have any requests?
I'll do my best.
Oh, it's a tuner. You don't have the thing.
I do
snark.
have
The
I
snark.
do have a snark, but I need a new battery. And I've been,
So this works off your phone.
yeah, well, you know.
I wish I had
So
thought
the
of
way
that
you're
first.
talking about how this new revolution in communication is ruining our brain, but it's saving your life here.
Oh, it's totally, it's a two-edged sword.
It opens up a lot of doors, Grant. But
I think
behind those
it's-
doors, some of those doors,
Yeah.
should remain.
Do you know that everybody used to be able to just tune a guitar without these things at some
Yeah,
point? Didn't they?
but
I would, but I can't do it when my nerves are bad.
There's a shot to hell. Look at your tattoo.
Can't do it.
What is this tattoo on your arm?
Which one?
This one. Oh, you've got a
This
whole
one
bunch of them.
is-
What's that one?
This one's my first record, actually.
Oh, wow.
It was called Coming Home, and it was my journey moving back to New Orleans from Los Angeles. This is the Crescent City,
Uh-huh.
Los Angeles, and the journey through the chaos to get back here.
Wow. What year did you come back?
Unofficially 2011, officially 2012.
You want me to sketch in 2011 for you? No. You don't want to remember the year?
No, I remember it. It's
Okay.
there.
That's cool. That looks like it's an extremely painful place to get a tattoo.
It's not the worst.
Not the worst. What's
not
the
the
worst
worst.
one?
Like doing something right here, which I haven't done.
On the on your side?
Or like the back here was really painful.
Oh, wow.
Like
On
I
your
can think
elbow.
of more painful places.
this one was super. Yeah.
Okay.
The back of my arm was super painful.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of stuff on
There
that
is.
arm
There
there.
is.
There's a lot of
This-
ink there.
This is actually a tribute to my grandmother.
Is there a phone number on there? Because I could ink
There
that
is
in.
not
Wow.
a phone number on there.
Is that Gloria?
This is Gloria.
No kidding.
She always wanted to be a New Orleans baby doll growing up.
Oh,
but
right.
the year that she turned 18 was the year that the war started, and they canceled Mardi Gras that year.
Damn.
So she never was able to be a baby doll. So when she passed, I called my girlfriends who are baby dolls, and they led the casket
That's
from
beautiful.
the
Wow.
church,
Yeah.
That's really nice.
processing through the streets.
Tell Paul.
So-
Paul's a Brit. Paul doesn't know
Doesn't
about
know what
baby
baby
dolls.
dolls.
Tell him
So
about baby
the New
dolls.
Orleans baby doll tradition, it's specifically black women in the Storyville district, which was the red light district of New Orleans. On Mardi Gras Day, they would dress as baby dolls because baby dolls were considered precious. And so they would dress themselves as baby dolls because they knew they had value, even though in our society they were at the very bottom of the totem pole. I mean, long story short, to kind
Wow.
of sum it up in a very small soundbite, there's so much more to it, but it's the baby dolls it's the untold story of feminism through the black perspective.
Fascinating.
Exactly.
nice.
See, like,
That's really interesting.
there you go.
C-Rock
There's-
has some info.
And so, and oddly enough, I was actually asked to become a Black Storyville baby doll on her birthday. I got the phone call.
So you're in.
Invitation. So I'm in. I am
Okay.
also.
You
I am
got the-
also. I am too a baby doll.
You got
Okay.
the call. I guarantee you got the call from upstairs, and you know if you retrace that number, it would be
945-2361.
Bam.
Grandma. What did
up.
What did you call her?
Mama.
Mama.
That's nice.
M-A-M-A? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see if she answers. Hey, was she a musician?
No. No.
So,
she.
so what's the deal with the baby dolls? What do you have to do? Is there rehearsal and? commitment? Or you just show up on Mardi Gras Day?
There is commitments. We do make our own. We make all of our own costumes, or we get them made. I personally have a degree in costume. That was my undergraduate degree. Was in costume design.
Wow.
So I make my own stuff.
Handy skill.
So I make my own stuff because I'm real picky about that kind of thing.
So can you make it? You can wear anything. It's not a uniform.
We have guidelines. Like we try to every year we kind of go and do. Our outfits are based off of like honoring someone or something like from that past. So whether it was a performer, it's looking at one of those old photos and constructing something that is similar to
So how many gangs or whatever the word is of baby dolls are there? Is there just one?
No.
There's tons
so we
of them
have
around.
just like the Mardi Gras Indians have different tribes. We have different cribs.
Cribs.
We have cribs. Yes.
Sick.
Okay, that's
We have
fun.
different cribs.
Okay, I have to write that down.
There's a bunch of them. Just there's downtown cribs. There's uptown cribs.
And what are you?
I am a downtown crib.
Downtown crib.
Yeah, we are 7th Ward all the way.
Do you know anything about this land coming from the West Bank?
We don't have baby dolls on the West Bank, but I do have a friend of our family who he himself wished he could become a baby doll.
Wow, that's an interesting question now.
So I learned all about it from him not too long ago.
Wow. This is not your fiance you're talking
It's
about.
not my fiance. He's too big to be a baby doll. I don't think it'll work.
What's up with this sort of gender fluid baby doll situation there?
Oh, and it can definitely be.
You can be a...
It can absolutely. It can absolutely. It historically.
Can you be white and a guy?
Probably not.
That would be pushing it a little bit too
would
far.
be that would
Okay,
be
well, that's
pushing
my
it.
dream.
That would be pushing it a bit.
Okay. Hey, listen, I said I'm going to make you play something. What are you going to play?
Okay. I will play. This is a fairly new tune, and it's about a breakup. How about that?
Breakup. Okay.
A breakup. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Wayfaring fool, search of life's thread, took her hand, chose to stand still, just long enough to realize the shadow was missing pieces. A southern thrill, paged in your love, where you found fleeting fixes.
say you still have some residual anger there about that guy.
What are you talking about?
What do you think? Paul, what do you think of that as a professional music booker?
Yeah, I thought she was great. Yeah, lovely voice.
Man, what
a lot
a
of passion.
voice.
A lot of passion.
Thank you.
What do you think, Lana?
Definitely. I thought that was amazing.
That is
Appreciate it.
super powerful. Do you still feel something when you sing a song like that, or is it just a song?
Well, no, I mean, no. I think one of the things that I took with me from my acting training is to always try to live truthfully in an imaginary circumstance. And when I wrote that, it took me a long time to write it,
Right.
because I really had to figure out how I felt about it. It was like, it wasn't a bad thing, but it was also painful. So how do I convey that? But every song that I sing, I try to be truthful to, because I know that there's somebody out there who's going through it, and it could serve as medicine for them.
I thought you sounded angry, didn't you think?
What?
I don't know. I wouldn't say.
You wouldn't say angry? Lana, did you pick up any anger, or is it just
I
me?
thought it was so passionate.
Passionate. Perhaps I'm
loved
confusing
it.
passion.
Well, yeah, probably.
So, Paul, how do you go about deciding who to book for a show like this?
Well,
Is it all on you?
it's all on me. I mean, I'm very sport because we've been festival's been running for 12 years, and so I get a lot of people submit stuff to me.
Right.
And then I have the great joy of listening to
Rejecting
everything
them.
I do. Yeah, I mean, there's rejection, but there's acceptance.
So you spend most of the day listening to music?
I do. It's a pretty good job, isn't it?
Are you serious? For real?
I do. Yeah. Well, now all the infrastructure, all the practical stuff, pretty much takes care of itself.
Right. You've done all the sort of
Yeah.
spade work.
Yep. And so it's just a great, creative journey.
Do you really get up in the morning and then go to the office and listen to music?
Well, I've been doing it on this trip. I've had probably, with festival runs over the 4th of July weekend. So where are we now? September, 8-9 months away from next year's festival, and I'm already getting every day probably 2 or 3. That's
Right.
not exaggerate. 2 or 3 submissions every day, and I've been getting submissions while I've been here. I've been listening. I've already actually found a band that I really liked, and
Here, since you've been
yeah. I mean, not here in New Orleans,
Who
but
did you? Oh, in Meridian?
but a band that no, they're not even in Meridian. No, they're in the UK actually. Because there's a lot of great UK bands playing Americana style music. The thing is, when we started Maverick in 2008, Americana wasn't really a genre. It wasn't recognised as a genre, and
What was here?
it was kind of alt country. It was. Yeah, which didn't mean anything. And the word country just didn't go down well with people in the UK. It had a lot of sort of negative connotations. But in the last 3 or 4 years, Americana's sort of become, much more established as a genre.
Why is that?
So it's a lot easier. Well, I'd like to think it's because we pioneered the music.
Yeah.
We certainly played a part in that. And
That's cool.
about 3 years ago, I started with a couple of agents. We started the Americana Music Association UK, which is the sort of official UK branch of the Nashville AMA. And so, and the people that run that now have just taken. I mean, we have an award show every year. We had Van Morrison got an award. No, actually, Robert Plant got the award, Lifetime Achievement Award this year. Van Morrison got it, and he shows up. Well, that's a testament to how seriously we're being taken as a genre. We can get Van Morrison. Richard Thompson played this year at the award show. I mean, this year being February.
And you made this up out of thin air.
Yeah, we basically cut. Yeah, exactly.
That's
The great musicians. Listen, there's a lot of great musicians out there, a lot of great talent. So that's sort of the easy part. The hard part is finding the audience, and then bringing it to the audience.
And I see. Can you go and stay like in a tent or something at the festival?
Oh, at my show. Oh, yeah. We have Well, do you have that glamping here? Does that mean anything? That word?
Glamping.
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 Glamorous camping.
Glamour camping.
I mean, it's still not. I mean, it's not my idea of glamour, but hey, it sounds good. But we have pre-erected bell tents and teepees for the faint-hearted who don't want to pitch their own tent.
You can stay in a teepee?
Yeah, you can stay in a teepee.
Where would you get a teepee from?
Well, we
Britain?
just...
Can you stay in a yurt?
And we don't do yurt. Good point. I do get approached by
the
yurters or whatever they're called. But no, we try and keep it American. You know, I'm very keen on keeping it with an American as much of an American.
I don't think there are any Americans listening to this who have been into a teepee.
Well,
except perhaps some of the little kids playing Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah, maybe that's a
You've
bit
been
of a
in teepee
stereotype.
times?
You know what?
Yurts.
That sounds like a kind of institutional racism, really, doesn't it? I think we should lose the teepees. All right, I'm going to announce it now on the show. Next year, we will do away
unless
with
you
the
have
teepees.
Native Americans there. Who,
we have had in the past. I've tried to. Can you imagine in England trying to find authentic? I mean, that's always the thing for us. Is all about authenticity. So if I can't, I've never had a Zydeco band, I've never had a Cajun band.
Why not?
Because I can't get the real deal. I mean, there are people in
Anybody
Europe.
in Lafayette
there are
will
people.
go.
Well, I tried to bring. Well, I was out with last year. I was out with met the guys at the Lafayette Tourism, Ben Berthelot,
right.
In Lafayette, and we talked about trying to bring the Lost Bayou Ramblers. And we made a deal and all this. It was a little bit of a sore point because we made a deal with them to come, and it was really exciting, because they're young and they're also authentic. So there was the double whammy of, because, I'm trying to win over a new young audience as well, not just play to, So, and we had a deal made. They were apparently going to do another festival as well, and it was all looking really good. And then the Grammys came up and they won the Grammy. Oh, wow. And then the whole thing just... And I don't know whether those things were connected, but it all sort of fell apart. So it was really, really harsh. But that happens to me all the time. To be fair, I start booking bands. I book bands, they drop out, and different things. I always treat it as an opportunity. You just have to go with it. Some people can, and suddenly something great will come. Last minute, there'll be a band that are coming through the UK, and I make space for them.
That's right. When you make that leap across the pond, you're looking hard for everything and anything. But before you make that leap, and you book the show, but maybe you don't realize what it takes to make that leap.
And I'm sympathetic to that,
sure.
and I know that I've already made offers to a couple of bands now that I know that whether that turns into reality will depend on them getting a bunch of other shows.
Yeah.
And my show's a good one for them to hang it on and say, we've got the Maverick Festival, if we can get some other shows. But, inevitably some will make it to the final wire and others won't. And Andrew, of course, has made it over a couple of times.
Yeah.
And this is all down to Grant. I just want to be a big thank you and shout out to Grant because how I met Andrew was through Grant, just on a casual exchange of emails, and mentioning that he had a friend who was in the UK who was just coming, I think maybe for the first time and looking for shows. And I had the good fortune to put Andrew on at a very small venue that I was running at the time. And he was great. And then from that, we built a relationship. He came back to the festival, and one of my daughters fell.
And the rest
made a close friendship with Andrew, which is so I've been encouraged now to keep bringing Andrew back. When's Andrew coming back, Dad? When's Andrew coming back?
How old is your daughter?
She's 20.
Oh, okay, so it's totally legal.
It's totally legal.
All right.
What's great is she's a musician herself, and you get asked by friends and colleagues who are musicians to play. You want to play songs together. You want to collaborate, right? We want to collaborate with people.
Going to finish this song today.
But to collaborate in a festival setting without rehearsals or never having done it, that's a little strange. You're supposed to go, play some songs in rocking chairs on the front porch or something. You're not supposed to play in a festival setting for the first time.
That's what happens.
But Ella was adamant that she knew these songs, and
because she's a fan of yours, because she's listened to your record.
Yep. And you know what? Well, and also I feel very safe at the festival. I had been there before, and Paul is a friend, and
so it's familiar ground.
Yeah, it was easy. It was easy to make that call to just have somebody I'd never played with. But she was great. She knocked it out of the park, Oh, wow. And I just saw from that brochure that she's playing her own set these days.
She did her own set
That's
this year
awesome.
with a guitar player. Yeah. So
killer.
Wow.
It's all good.
Is she a musician, your daughter?
She is. She just started college, and she's doing English and international relations. But she is a consummate. She's a classically trained piano player, viola player, singer.
Wow.
And
Does she make her own baby doll outfits?
She would look. I think. I don't think I have the right. When you say those the baby doll, that's images that come into my mind are probably not the
different.
Yeah,
you're thinking of some sort of weird.
Maybe it's
sex
a British
type.
thing. You know?
British baby doll.
It is. Hey, Andrew, you want to play something while we're talking of music?
I'll try to play a song. Just give me a second.
Okay, we will. And then after we come back from this song, I have a very serious question to ask.
Oh, can't wait.
And I really mean it.
The tension.
I really mean it. Lana, how do we get our hearing checked? Seriously.
Well, yeah, we have an
How
office.
do you do it? Where is it?
Well, our office is right here uptown, 4219 Magnolia Street, right here in the city. You guys can come over and just schedule an appointment or just pop in.
So what do? You put on headphones like this and then...
Similar,
you hear beeping. I went to one years ago where they do beeping sounds. You have to like click something every time you hear.
You have to click the responder every time that you hear the beep.
And funnily enough, I got like a clean bill of health, and they said my hearing was fine. And yet, look where my headphone thing is set compared to everybody else.
Yeah, well, that was years ago. It's something you should do every year.
Every year.
Every year.
Like the dentist.
Is it like eyesight then?
It's exactly like
so
vision,
it's sort of
yes.
you start to lose the frequencies or the
That's
but that's a good point because the difference is people don't mind wearing glasses, but I really don't want to get hearing aids.
Right, but they've become more invisible nowadays, so it's not something that you can really see behind the ears.
Yes, you can.
As much.
You see that thin wire sticking out of someone's ear
immediately.
But what about the people that work, the guys that have a head? I mean, I know Jack has a little thing. You know, he's got his,
like the Bluetooth
his phone.
devices.
He's always got his Bluetooth.
You could just
thing
have
in.
that.
Accept it now.
So nobody knows whether it's a hearing aid, whether it's a little Bluetooth.
Let's hide it in plain sight. This is a good idea.
That's
you know,
good
everybody
thinking,
wears Bluetooth headphones these days. You can just make those amplifiers of the sound around you, and then you're just the hip kid who always wears his
oversized Beats headphones.
Right? Yeah, that's
actually
right.
are deaf as opposed.
Exactly.
Hey, are we all going deaf from wearing these headphones constantly?
I think that research will show us something different later on in life. So
Meaning what?
Hearing loss occurs gradually, which means that when I'll say that younger generation gets to be about 60, that's when we'll really see.
Okay.
It'll tell the tale.
So everybody's sticking these earbuds in their ears.
Yeah.
We're screwing ourselves for the future.
Long term.
For real.
Yes.
It's good for you, actually.
It's great for me, very lucrative.
Yeah. You can hold on till all these kids turn 60.
Business is booming.
Well, it's actually not that far away now.
It's not. So I would encourage everyone to continue using.
How much does it cost to get a hearing test?
Oh, it's
it
most
cheap?
insurances. Most insurances
Insurance covers it.
Yeah, and we'll go around the city at community events providing free hearing screenings all the time.
Let's go after the show.
You're probably on Medicaid.
Yeah, you guys should.
Is that what, I don't even really know. I'm English. I'm English, so I get we get free healthcare. So, but isn't that what happens when you get to your age? Doesn't the
I think
Medicare.
65 you get to Medicare, right?
Medicare.
Does it cover everything? Medicare?
Not hearing aids.
Not hearing aids.
That's something that most people don't know.
You don't need to hear nothing. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
Does it cover it doesn't cover here? I mean, Medicaid doesn't cover glasses either.
Medicaid will cover that for children. Medicare is what adults.
When you get to 65.
That's right.
But that doesn't cover glasses or dental or anything, does it? I have no idea.
No, dental's a luxury around these parts.
Yeah, right, exactly. Andrew, what about it?
Well, I'll play a new song.
Okay.
Started it a while ago after getting back from a camping trip in Colorado. You'll get it. It goes like this. I've come down from the mountain, down from my time out in the woods, down from the mountain where the cool, clear water and that wild wind done me good. I've come down from the mountain, down that switchback road, down from the mountain where I'd never seen so many stars aglow. I've come down from the mountain,
I am back on Central Time, where I'm slave to all my worries. I am slave to my deadlines, and I begin to wonder why. I begin to wonder why. I wonder why I've come down from the mountains. When I dream, I see a cabin in my mind, right in the middle of nowhere. It ain't clear if it's up ahead or somewhere I left behind. All I know is I ain't quite ready to go there. Oh, but I wonder why. Don't it make you wonder why? Oh, to this day I wonder why I've come down from the mountain. I got a story to tell. I come down from the mountain with this song I've been singing to myself.
Okay. That's the real thing right there.
Hey, thanks, y'all.
Yes, Andrew. I've been sitting here watching you do this. This is our 8th year, of doing this, or
No
7th
shit.
year or something, yes.
Of Happy Hour, or
Yeah.
since we've been doing it?
Yes, like 7 years since we started this
Must be
together. And
children.
I've sat, it was before I was on Medicaid. I've sat here and watched you play all those times, like, every week or every few weeks when you're in
Right,
town.
yeah.
Your guitar playing has improved a million-fold.
I like to think I'm getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, aren't we all?
Well, I don't know. Are we? I don't know if the show's gotten any better, but you.
That's true. That's
Andrew
true.
is a fine guitar player.
Yeah.
Because I remember when the first time I think he played the festival, there was an Australian.
Oh, yeah.
And you're from New Zealand, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, don't even look at me.
You probably won't know her. Anyway, Australian young woman, I can't remember her name.
Cara Granger.
Cara Granger, fantastic, like a Bonnie Raitt type,
Yeah.
really, really superb.
Yeah.
And Andrew, this was the great thing about the festival, there's always room for those kind of collaborations and, people jumping in, and they feel that confidence in, the audience is very supportive of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrew played with Cara, and that was like just came out of nowhere. Suddenly Andrew was, obviously they discussed it. He didn't just jump up on the stage,
Right.
start playing, but you played mouth organ and guitar and sang with her, and that was great. Now Andrew's a fine guitar
He's
player.
the real deal.
Yeah.
Well,
it's the
you
real
see a lot
deal.
of people.
The interesting thing was that first show that I played at the White Horse pub in your hometown. I was opening for Cara Granger. And
Oh my God! I forgot that.
Yeah,
that's
that's
absolutely
how
true.
those
She had
dots
that
connected.
awful guy with her. She had this boyfriend. This real. She did. She had this real.
yeah.
She did this little show as a duo. Then that's right. And she
Yeah.
had this really good. He was like this really good-looking, cocky guy that played a bit of guitar with her, but. She had to, yes, and and there was obviously a lot of tension between them, and I think Andrew sort of coming into the mix even then,
Didn't help.
Didn't help. And I remember he sat outside in his car, didn't he? He went and sat outside in the car and listened to stereo or something while Andrew was playing his set. Yeah, and they broke up soon after that.
I'm not surprised to hear
Yeah,
that.
and then she came back. That's right. And then
Yeah.
she, a couple of years later,
So we should look her up. What's her
Yeah,
name?
Cara Granger. Really
Cara
fabulous.
Granger.
Yeah.
Look at this ant. This is the first ant we've had on the show.
Actually, what's funny is she just made a record produced by Anders Osborne. Cara did.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
That is weird. I
Yeah,
didn't-
she
that
is.
That is a super weird coincidence.
In fact,
writing
Anders
her
and
name
I
down.
had met before, but never really hung or anything. And Cara came to town and she said, "Hey, I'm making a record with Anders Osborne. What do you think about that? And I said, you made a great choice. He's, the best, musical songwriter kind of guy I could think of in town. And she said, cool, we're writing a song today. You want to come over? And I said, yeah. So we got to write some songs for Carr's record. And actually...
See, isn't that cool? That all came from that phone
Yeah,
from you letting me know that Andrew and he
little-
plays at the White Horse and
yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
How does she find Anders,
go.
though? What's the hookup there?
Actually, they're both playing through the same kind of amp. They're being sponsored by the same amp company. So she was pointed in his direction by the amp company, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to look her up. Is it
Yeah,
out?
she's
Is
great.
the record out?
Yeah, it is. She's
Cara
great.
Granger.
Mhm.
All right. Hey, Spess, here's the question I wanted to ask
Yes,
you.
sir.
5 minutes. Okay, perfect. Way to end the whole show then. Okay, so here's what I've been thinking. You lived in Los Angeles.
Yep, that's where we met.
In the
fact.
90s,
Yep.
the 1990s.
90, yep.
Yep, that's how you and I met each other. You've lived in England for how many years? Have you been
Yeah,
there?
it's about 15, 16 I've been back there. Yeah.
For 15 or 16
Well,
years?
I lived in LA from 91 to 2002,
Okay.
didn't I? Yeah.
So that's like-
16. So I've been back in the UK for 16 years.
Okay, so now you've come back here.
Yeah.
So you're a person who has a really good understanding of what American life is like because you lived here for a long time.
We're gonna get
And now you've
serious. Are
been
we gonna
gone
get
for a
serious
long
now?
time. What have you noticed? Because living here, everybody's basically, as of today, this day and tomorrow, we all kind of feel like we're at the sort of turning point here, that there's some kind of a tipping point of idiocy, really, that's built up in Washington
Yeah.
that has got to change, and that
And you think the midterms or this
I don't
thing
know.
on Thursday?
What are you sensing?
Well, well, obviously we watch it with fascination and horror, as I'm sure and right-thinking Americans must do as well. And listening to Trump's speech to the UN yesterday, where people were laughing. I mean, he really doesn't have any empathy. It's terrifying to think, but he is I think I listened to Carl Bernstein on CNN, and he put it very eloquently. He said Trump is not the president of the USA, of the United States. He's the president of his base. And that's really, I think, sums it up. And until there's enough, to tip the scales back the other way, which there will be at some point, it's havoc. I don't know what to say.
So it looks like you get the same sense living outside the United States we get in here, that this is just a sort of a horror show.
It's a horror show, and what's really depressing, I think, is how, and it's sort of beginning to happen in England as well. There's no middle ground. Everyone's polarized, and then you were talking about technology earlier on. Technology, and how or the smartphones and how it dumbs people's brains. I mean, what it has done is this thing about the echo chamber where we all just listen, and I do it. I read The Guardian. I've read it today. I just reinforce my own take on things. Sure. I constantly reinforce my own take on things. Yeah. So it's very polarizing. There doesn't seem to be middle ground, and we're sort of going through that in England as well to some extent over Brexit. It's not. I mean, as somebody, actually, American friend said, Brexit at least. At least with Trump, you guys will get rid of him eventually. Whereas Brexit, for us, in some ways, is even more far-reaching in its consequences and its potential for really, disrupting and, the isolation and the nationalist ideas that are sweeping Europe, the far right and so on.
Are there lots
worrying.
of people in Britain who believe that Brexit is going to be better for everybody still, or are they now that they've got it?
The trouble is, it's been proven, hasn't it? Psychologists sort of analyse this idea that even in the face of facts, people find it very hard to switch their ideas once they've married themselves to an idea, and it's all part of something to do. There's real chemical reasons for that.
The cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, that they just can't, even when the facts are presented, they can't shift position.
Yeah,
that's the scary thing, and that's a little bit what is happening with Brexit, because I think it just constantly, there's no good news out of Brexit. There's never been anything that comes out in the news where people go, oh, wow, that's one of the upsides. Wow, look at that. Wow, we're going to be able to do this.
None.
It's all about, we won't be able to do this and we won't be able to do that. And farmers are now saying that if we don't have a deal, there'll be 6 months where they can't export any farm produce to Europe. I mean,
so what is the underlying benefit that was everybody voted in favor of it?
It's all
other than just nationalism.
It's immigration is the big.
Okay,
that was and that's sort of the elephant in the room. Really, it's all about immigration, and it's that idea that, if our health service is under strain, which it is for all sorts of complicated reasons, that the immigrant thing becomes an easy way to hang.
That's an easy scapegoat.
It's an easy scapegoat, and that's history,
but
isn't it?
This is a country that colonized hundreds of countries around the world.
Yeah.
Until very recently, New Zealand including.
Well, indeed, but now suddenly we're close. It's the scapegoat thing. That's all you can say. People were told, and the irony is that the immigration issue, the idea of the sort of multiculturalism, I mean, the ship sailed on that a long time ago, or whatever the right analogy is. There's no going back from that.
Right.
So it's kind of pointless to be,
Is it sort of harkening back to make Britain great again, like?
Definitely. I was thinking about the hat. I thought, wouldn't it be great to have a Make Britain Great Again hat?
Nice.
So we get that, and then you guys have the Make America Great. We have the Make
similar.
Britain Great.
Is it like a driver's cap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a golf cap.
We have
golf.
a baseball hat.
You have the baseball
They have the
cap.
golfer's driver's
We'd have a
hat.
sort of,
Like a golf cap.
I don't know. No, it's pretty depressing.
Just make it
the
a
whole
helmet.
thing, yeah.
I was thinking
But music can make it all right, though, can't it?
You know
Andrew?
what?
It's
You
the
know-
Make it a
international
helmet, they'll
language.
need
Tell you
it.
what, you know where I was a few weeks ago. I was in Israel, and things over there are as fraught and complicated as they could ever be. Well, as they've ever been anywhere ever. But I went to a festival where a rabbi and an Arab rapper were shoulder and shoulder, arm in arm, singing this, Jewish standard song I didn't know, but just as, music without a doubt is conquering or transcending that situation. And there's a choir, a gentleman from New York has started in Israel to get Palestinians and Jews to come together and sing, but specifically to talk to each other before they sing. And this is cultivating people coming together to transcend it with art, with music. It's absolutely true that is effective,
Yeah. But I tell you what, I mean, obviously, the other thing I have to bring up, because I'm sitting here as a white Englishman, with two African-American ladies, we're sitting around the table. The other place I went to on my trip after Meridian was Montgomery. And I visited the new Legacy Civil Rights Monument, which is absolutely incredible. Yeah. I mean, it's the most powerful. I mean, I've been to the Holocaust
museum in DC. That's
and I've been to
something.
Berlin to the Holocaust Memorial, which this is sort of similar to. This is an extremely powerful, incredibly well presented. I mean, and obviously I'm slightly, I'm not American, so. I come at it from a different perspective, but I found that hugely moving, really incredible, and that's really the big, never mind the politics type of thing. This is still the big issue as an outsider that America's struggling with its, racial.
Absolutely, it's the thing that was never
intrinsic,
dealt with.
that's not dealt with, and I think these kind of monuments. And I even noticed in the French Quarter, and I don't know whether it was there, but there's a big plaque up on Jackson Square about the slave ships, and I don't think
it's about the
and I
Mafia.
think that's quite new. I don't think that, certainly when I came to New Orleans back in the 90s, I used to come there. I think there's more of, what I mean. That
was recently dedicated in July. Actually,
was it?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Oh, good. Well, so I thought that was new, and I think that kind of coming to terms with that in a real meaningful way.
Yeah, and I think
is huge. Yeah.
I think we have to do that on a cellular level. We have to figure out how to talk to each other. I don't know how to talk to my friends who feel staunchly on the other side of these issues, and they don't know how to talk to me. We know how to argue. Grant's great at it, but we don't know how to talk to each other. And
you can't. Whether you were saying what you were saying, Paul, was that you can't convince people. Even
that's
facts.
right.
No.
Let me just interject briefly as the black female who's been doing this her entire life. But I will tell you this, as white males, you guys are the most important voice in there, because for everyone who is trying to convince them to be staunchly on the wrong side of history, your voice is actually the strongest when it comes to saying, actually, no, that's wrong. Because your voice is the one that's valid.
That's
and
right.
that's the thing is, white males really need to speak up. They have to they have to speak up, because we've been silently beating our chests, and we are tired as hell.
That's
and we
right.
can't do it anymore.
To make sure that people know how you feel about these things is important. My concern is that when I say, you know what, I think that you're wrong, they will say, you're an idiot and you're wrong for these reasons, so we don't necessarily get anywhere. I want to get further than that. I don't want to just say you're wrong. I want to say, tell me more about how you feel and how you got to that, and then maybe we can take our time to, I don't know, maybe educate each other somehow.
No, and that's the thing is that you have to get past, you have to be okay with people backlashing. The backlashing may hurt if you're not used to it. I mean, we're used, like, the moment I open my mouth, there's backlash.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting for that, but I'm still going to keep talking. And the thing is to continue talking. It's like, okay, you can't, not taking the backlash personal. It's like, no, you're wrong. And I would like to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah.
But slowly knocking those pieces down. Like that's.
Well, even if you leave out that you're wrong part, and you just, I guess I'm asking that in the form of a question. If I speak to my colleagues who disagree with us vehemently, do you see merit in the idea that we go a little more pragmatically, or should we just simply state our staunch opinion and let them disagree, but stay on the right side of the wall, so to speak, rather than try to, with pragmatism, extend a hand? I don't know.
Well,
somehow.
you can't. I personally, and I'm speaking for myself.
Yep.
I personally don't believe that you can be pragmatic when it comes to human rights. There is a right and there is a wrong. And if that means you need to have them relate to it by putting it in their context, it's like, you make it relatable. It's like, what if this was your daughter? What if this was your sister, your mother going through this? If you saw someone who looked exactly like you, if you were in a homogenous situation, how this would upset you. If your children were being separated from, like, if your niece and nephew were being separated from their parents and being held in detention camps behind fences, you would be in a rage. But you're not, because these people don't look like you. I mean, and at the end of the day, that's what's said, and that is wrong. There's nothing pragmatic about it.
Yes, well, what you just said was pragmatic, though. I mean, the way that you put it was perfect.
That's one of the strengths, actually, I thought, of the Montgomery Memorial, was when you leave, and if any of you have been there, but you're invited to go up and stand on this square on the hill that's like in the middle of the monument, and imagine yourself as one of the mob that are watching somebody being lynched, or if you're the person being lynched. But the way you're invited to do it, I can't really put it into words, but it's done really, really well. But what I'm saying is that's the empathy that you need to experience in order to relate to everyone, us to help each other relate as human beings, and get beyond whether you look like me or I look like you. It's just you put yourself in and it really, I mean, that was the most powerful part of the exhibition.
Sadly, that's in Montgomery, though.
Yeah. And if I may add to this as well, one suggestion for me would be, if you're having difficulty convincing your colleagues, then, I mean, we're the generation who's going to be starting another generation real soon. So convince your children, teach your children the right way from the beginning. I find that a lot in our school systems, that's what we see. We see the kids, they begin to actually identify themselves as being different in the third grade. So before, they just feel that they're all the same. So start with your children.
I think that's beautiful. I do have to warn you that I don't have faith in human society, so I might not have kids.
Bam!
There you go. We've got to get out of here, so we're back where we started with heritage. So we've come full circle.
Nice.
Well, that's a good job, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Arsene DeLay has been here. Andrew Duhon's back from Are you back for a while?
No, heading to Nashville, yeah.
Okay, well, back for today, at least. We're grateful for
Great
that.
to see you guys.
And Lana Joseph has been here from High Level Hearing, and Paul Spencer from the Maverick Festival. If you want to go to the Maverick Festival, of course, it's the 4th of July weekend, which is a great time to get the hell out of here.
Get out in New Orleans,
get out of the heat.
Yes. Come to the UK.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just mention Grant's name, and we'll charge,
get in for free.
You extra.
Oh. Thank you so much for being here,
You can drink as much as you like. But,
it's kind of like Happy Hour. Happy Hour has been brought to us today by Strategic Resumes. If you want to sharpen up your resume, your LinkedIn profile, or your other job search skills, deals, give them a call or look them up online. Strategic Resumes, Travel Central and Metairie. Thank you very much. If you want to get away, start your search by checking with Travel Central. Basic Swim and Gym has a full range of fashion swimsuits and yoga clothes. You can find them right next to the lingerie store, Basics, underneath on Magazine Street. Hangover Destroyer is the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. If you go to hdestroyer.com and you write happy hour on the coupon code, you'll get 30% off of it. And thank you to the Positive Vibrations Foundation, who create and encourage community through the development and preservation of arts, music, culture, and heritage. And if you'd like to be a part of our Patreon family, go to patreon.com and search for It's New Orleans Happy Hour. And for as little as $1 a month, you too can be a part of the Happy Hour family. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. That's Happy Hour for another week. Graham DePonte is our producer. Our music producers are Christian Unruh and Monique Pyle. Thomas Walsh is our technical director. And Asher Griffith is the Facebook Live feed director who put this whole thing on Facebook Live. Our fact checker and social media connector is Andrew Searock. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about an hour while drinking alcohol, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com, where you can also find out many other happy hours that we've recorded previously, as well as some other shows we make around here, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, Live from Commander's Palace, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, and an award-winning show about death called Death the Podcast. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la, and you keep up with us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it we called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our New Orleans Facebook page, It's New Orleans Facebook page. The photos taken today by Jill Lafleur. You can find more of Jill's photos at lafleurphoto.com. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, thanks for subscribing to us. Take a moment to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans. Happy Hours of production of Lana Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. On behalf of Andrew Duhon, everybody else around here at the table at Wayfare and back at our office at Lana Broadcasting, thanks for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week for more Happy Hour.
Venus, your style guide for fun, sexy style, is getting you ready for shorter days and cooler weather during the annual Venus Fashion Week event. The new Venus Fall Fashion Collection has arrived, and it's a perfect time to get amazing deals on new styles that have made Venus famous, from weekdays at the office to weekends on the town. Shop hundreds of new fall styles and get $15 when you spend $100, $30 off when you spend $150, and $50 off when you spend $200 or more. Just go to Venus.com or download the Venus app and use the promo code SWEATER to save during the last days of Venus Fashion Week.